Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Business Over Breakfast. My name is Ben Barber, and unfortunately, Lori Jatari from Visual Thrive in Shop Local, Rhode Island, who is normally the co-host of the show, is not with us today. She is currently, as I'm sure many of you know, because we've mentioned it briefly on the show, she is currently in Florida with her family, caring for her mother, and my thoughts are with you, Lori, and I know that you're doing a wonderful job down there. So we will see you hopefully next week. Today we hopefully have a wonderful guest on the show. But it is also which would be Donald Deemers from Buxton Hollow Farm. So hopefully that comes through. But it's also the last Tuesday of the month, which means it is time for us to answer your questions about marketing, digital marketing, anything like that, any sort of questions that you might have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. And I'm going to put up a nice little banner here to let you know. Have questions? Ask in the comments. All right. And I actually got some questions beforehand from some local business owners. So I'm going to answer those questions while we wait. And again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat, and I would be happy to address them the best that I could. And if it's a question for Lori, we'll make sure that she answers that next week. Um, the first question that I got: can podcasts actually help my small business? This is a great question. And it's a twofold answer, right? So it depends on everything is contextual. Um, Number one, yes. Like a blanket statement, yes, but it's contextual. It depends on what your business is, what you do, who your audience would be, etc. So if you, for example, and I know what this person does, that asked the question, so I'll give it a little bit of context. Um, if you are, for example, a local sandwich shop, what would you have a podcast about, right? But, are you gonna have a podcast about sandwiches? Maybe, maybe, absolutely. Maybe you have a community-based show, right? So we had like a show exactly that's a similar format to this one. I personally have a client that we are starting to explore this with, that is a car dealer. And basically what we're trying to do with their show, what we're going to be trying to do with their show is take um the general manager, who is a wonderful friendly guy that really loves the community, and sort of put him out into the community more, right? So getting to know the community the same way. It can work where you can become the host of the party. So if you are a lawyer, for example, if your small business was a law office or a construction company or something, then having a show that educates people would be perfect for you. Right. So, the goal of your show would be tips on how to, uh, elder care law, for example, right? It's something that I dealt with a lot in the past year and still am. If you were an elder care attorney and you had a show where you were taking 5 minutes to an hour to talk about the ins and outs of specific legal situations, that is going to help your business. Um, Depending on, and then using that and putting it out on social media, that's going to help your business because people are always looking for that information. And but if you're a sandwich shop, there's a little bit of um telling people how to make the sandwiches and answering their questions, but there's also the ability to just create community out of it, right? So there's a place, it's a chain, but there's a specific place in Westerly. where I'm from, called D'Angelo. And yes, it's a chain. So if you live in New England, I'm sure that you've been to D'Angelo sandwiches. And the local person there sponsored the owner, the franchisee of that store, sponsored soccer teams, sponsored little league teams, sponsored our plays and cabarets and stuff when I did theater. And it's the same, right? So if they wanted to, and I don't know the legality of that because it's a franchisee, but say you owned Joe's sandwich shop, um, the same way that you would sponsor those little league teams, etc. Having uh, a forum that you create, a podcast that you create, a live show like this that you create, where you talk to people in the community, business owners, right? Organization owners. You know the kids that do little league. You know the coaches. You know the everybody comes into your shop. Everybody comes into your sandwich shop. You build relationships with those people, and you can build relationships with those people one on one by asking them to come on your show and talk to you about what they're doing. So I think that podcasts can help in two different ways. Number one, if you're an expert about something and sharing that knowledge would help grow your business. That is one way that a podcast would work. Number two, if it's adjacent to your business, there are beer companies right now that have 5 or 6 podcasts based around trivia, right? There are beer companies that have podcasts based around sports, based around trivia, based around all of these different things that you would um, drink beer around, right? Look at Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. One of the biggest things that they do are these pizza reviews. Intrinsically, a pizza review show has nothing to do with sports, but it has everything to do with sports. It has everything to do with that crossover audience. And just him not talking about sports, but going to different pizza places all around the country, getting a full pizza, eating a slice of it, and giving it a silly rating that is way too tough and way too specific is captivating. And if people don't know what Barstool Sports is, but they like pizza, he's taking the bet that enough of those people like pizza, like sports, right? And will follow the brand. So if you are a sandwich shop owner, and this is just one example, but if you are a sandwich shop owner and you could try other places' sandwiches, just as an example. You could have other people in the community on. You can take outtakes of this and put them out as short. You can show behind the scenes stuff. Anything anything where you're not selling is going to, and this is going to get me into my second question that I got from a friend who is a local business owner. Um, Anything that you can do where you're not selling uh, is going to help people not feel like you're just trying to sell them on it. And again, if you are an expert in something, if you are a mechanic, if you're an HVAC, right? If you are an HVAC company, then creating something, even if it's just a tips of the week, right? Where you grab your phone and put it on, or have another person on your crew turn around and film you, and you say, hey, every year, tons of people spend a ridiculous amount of money because they don't change their filter. And when you don't change your filter for years, and you don't get regular maintenance, this is what happens. And then you need an entire new furnace. So we're going to show you a quick way to change your filter. Now, showing people how to do that by themselves, you would think would cost you money. But instead, the opposite happens. A couple people see it and go, I could do that myself. Thank you very much, Frank from the HVAC company. But the majority of the people go, I didn't know. I had no idea what an HVAC, like I know that I need an HVAC company when something goes wrong. in that, but I don't know who they are, right? I don't know a lot of them. They aren't necessarily companies that are spending a lot on TV advertising or something that's gonna get in front of me, but I did see this on Facebook, and he seemed really helpful. And now I know that they know what they're doing, and look at that, they're being altruistic, that they're trying to teach me how to not use them. And you don't even think that far into it, but it works, and it's good. Being a good person and helping others, and it is always it's always the best policy for sure. I post consistent excuse me. I post consistently and nothing ever changes. What am I doing wrong? So that sort of goes into what I was just saying, right? Um, there are a lot of places, restaurants can be very guilty of this, um, where, or let's just go back to the sandwich shop, right? Let's go back to Joe's Sandwich Shop, this made up local business. And if there really is a Joe Sandwich Shop somewhere out there in Rhode Island, number 1, get on Shop Local. And number 2, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to point you out. I'm just Joe Sandwich Shop seems pretty generic to me. So if you're Joe Sandwich Shop and you have a special of the day every day, right? And that's what you're posting. Hey guys, today we have a Russian roast beef sandwich, um, and that's our special of the day. And then on Thursday, you post, "Hey guys, today we have a cheeseburger grinder." Friday, you post, "Hey guys, today we have a tuna melt." Saturday, you post, "Happy Saturday. Thank God it's the weekend. Come get our Italian grinder." You're not doing anything. You're not giving anybody a reason other than the fact now maybe you post gorgeous photos of the sandwich along with the sandwich, and that helps for sure, right? It could become art. It could become and that's gorgeous. But but if there's nothing else, right? If you're literally just writing up a if you literally just have your special sheet and you just take a photo of it with your cell phone and then put that out every day and you're like, "I don't know what happened. Google said I should post once a day, and I'm posting once a day. We're posting the specials. We get 1 or 2 likes on it. Occasionally, people come in and say that they saw the special on Facebook, but it's not moving the needle, and I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to because I'm posting every day." That's true. You are posting every day, and that's nice, but creative is the variable of success when it comes to this, right? And while that's important, if you have a sale on something, it's important to promote it. It's obviously important. Sales is an important part of everything, especially on social media. But um the you're losing the opportunity to build brand. You're losing the opportunity to take something um and there's a when I was so I used to work at Subway, and again, this is a this is a situation where this is a franchise, so this wouldn't have necessarily worked in this specific situation because of the rules of that franchise. But I worked at Subway throughout high school and a little bit before, and a little bit after, I mean, and I my personality was something that got a lot of attention from customers, from the reps, the regional reps that would come in. And I'm a bigger guy, and the big thing was Subway was healthy and was weight loss, and that was what in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, that was really the focus of everything. So the owner of the Subway that I worked at said, "I will give you free Subway every day if you document it, and I will hook you up with a free personal trainer, And if you document that you've eaten Subway every day and we document your weight loss, and your personality is gonna sell that, right? Now, that was before the social media explosion. That was before Instagram. That was before vlogging. Um, if we had done that now, obviously that piggybacked on the popular, spokesperson at the time who will not name, but, um but if that documentation had been done during that fun journey of an employee, right? If that had been done there, and I had a smartphone in my pocket, and I could take photos of myself at the gym, or little videos of myself at the gym every day, or photo evidence of the sandwich that I was eating, and to post it on Joe Sandwich Shop's, Instagram, on their Facebook, and told that story, that storytelling, that long arc storytelling, more people, right? Now, as it was, there was a newspaper article written about me. More people came to that Subway because of my story. More people came to that Subway because I was losing weight eating Subway in a local, just Richmond, Westerly, Charahoe, Hopkinton, Charlestown area, right? So many people saw that and thought, "Oh, I could do that too." A lot of people signed up to go to Anytime Fitness in Richmond because of that story, and it wasn't something that we documented the way that you could document things now. That's one thing, right? That is an outside the box perspective of something creative that you can do on social media that is not just, "Hey, we have a special, 2 large pizzas for $10 today." That's amazing, and that's gonna spike something, but in addition to that, every other day, there's a pizza place down the road from my parents' house that I absolutely love. They have, farm fresh veggies on their all of their stuff is made at a local farm, and if they spent, time with their phones even videoing, um, them literally taking the lettuce from the ground every once in a while, or, they themselves have a little farm in the back, and if they documented what they were doing more, then it would help, um then it would help them, because just putting out farm fresh veggies every day is great, but showing people is always better. Um, so that's one thing, right? Like we said with um, another reason why starting a podcast or a show or giving out tips or something helps so is that it gives you non-salesy content, because posting your specials has one reason and one reason only. This is our special of the day. It's a new item that we want you to buy, or we have a discount on it because we want you to buy. If you say you're Joe's Sandwich Shop and you sponsor the soccer team, that's a wonderful thing. Posting the photo that's up in your establishment, if you have permission, posting the photo that's up in your establishment of everybody with their stuff is great. Talking to that coach about how the season went and how the kids had fun and enjoyed it and enriched the community, that's a plus. Um, having a customer appreciation day is great. Having a customer appreciation day every week where you, take, a customer, if you're Joe's Sandwich Shop and you have, your regulars, and they're comfortable with it. Obviously, you ask them beforehand, and they're comfortable with it. Make a customer appreciation day every week, and every Tuesday you take a photo of someone, and you tell a little bit about their story, and you post that on social media. Those are the types of fun things. What are your employees doing? What are you doing behind the scenes? What do you like, right? These are all things that can help you with that. And then finally, how do I advertise locally without money for ads on Facebook and Instagram and social media? Great question. For me personally, and I know Lori has other ideas on this as well to expand on all of these topics, but for me, the answer, how do I advertise locally without having the money for social media ads? Everything else that I just said. Find a way to be a part of your community, to engage the community through your organic social media and know your business, right? So if you're obviously like if you're a B2B business, then some of this stuff might not work for you, but it might. And there's no reason to not try it if you have time. Um and there is there is nothing better than posting community building content. Community building content going on. So I live in Westerly, Rhode Island, and in Westerly alone, there are um like 10 Facebook groups. The good stuff, the decent stuff, Westerly Concerned Citizens, Westerly, um, uh, just Westerly RI, Westerly Small Businesses, um, you know, and so on and so Westerly Wire. And there are all of these small businesses, small Facebook groups that have 8, 10, 15,000 people in them. And there's a lot of overlap, I'm sure, but um, I do this a lot because I have clients and I share it out to them and that becomes white noise and I don't do a great job of that. But if you're one business and you're looking to create a community, right? So go in and ask questions of that community, not about your sandwich shop. You as Joe, you as Joe from Joe's Sandwich Shop, go in there and say, um, you know, what is something that everybody would want to see in this town? What is hop in on conversations, add something creative, add something important, bring value to the conversation that other people are having, right? If somebody asks what the best restaurant in town is, don't necessarily just jump in and say, I really love Joe's Sandwich Shop. Um, but you can jump in and say, oh, I love, um, I'm gonna say 84 High Street because it was a restaurant in town that everyone loved, and doesn't exist anymore. So it's safe to say, I really love this place. I really love this. They have great food, they have great ambiance, and then everybody else pops in, "Hey, yeah, no, that's a great idea, that's a great idea." And then you continuously build that up, and then eventually people know, "Hey, you're Joe from Joe's Sandwich Shop. Hey, I like you. Hey, you sponsored that local soccer team. Hey, you talk to the other businesses that I know that I'm friends with. Hey, you, you helped out on the Alzheimer's Association's walk, and that meant a lot to me. Hey, you helped out with the Relay for Life. Hey, um, you know, b- if you don't have money, then the best thing that you can do is give your time and be thoughtful, right? So that's kind of would a podcast work for me? Yes, if you're thoughtful and creative about it. I post constantly, but nothing changes. Be thoughtful about what you're posting and do things that aren't just sales related. I don't have money to spend on paid advertising. Go into these forums, go into these groups, respond to every comment somebody leaves you, okay? Those are my tips for how that would work. Um so obviously the Buxton Hollow farm is going to wait for another day. I want to thank my 3 friends that sent in those questions. Lori is going to hopefully be back next week. Lori, we love you. We hope that things are going well as they can for you and your family right now. Our thoughts are with you. Please check out visualthrive.com for everything Lori and Scott related. They do a wonderful job with everything digital marketing. They're a wonderful agency, so please check them out. And if you are a local business, or you own a local business, or you work for a local business, or you love and support a local business, which is everyone, go to shoplocalrhodeisland.com. Get your business on shoplocalrhodeisland.com. I can't wait to hear more updates about the marketplace that's opening on shoplocalrhodeisland.com. Finally, I'm not sure if they might have spent all of they might have allocated all of the grant money, but go to commerceri.com and apply for a small business grant if you need it. Those relief grants of $5,000. There was a $20 million pot, and hopefully all of that money, they a lot of I think last Wednesday it was up to like 15 million that had been applied for. So go check that out if you're a small business and you need that. Go check out commerceri.com or call 521 help. And that is it for today. I want to thank Lori. I want to thank Scott Indemar, also from Visual Thrive and Indemar Media. And that's it. So if you have any other questions, we do these Q&As at the end of every month. You can send them in. You can email Lori at visualthrive.com. You can email me, Ben, at deangelisandbarber.com, which I don't have the thing at the bottom. So I'm just going to say email Lori because it's easier, Lori at visualthrive.com. And that's it. So we will see you next week with another guest. And if you have questions about digital marketing, local marketing, anything like that, check it out. Visit shoplocalrhodeisland.com. Thank you very much. And we'll see you later.